students, let us to now learn in this video about PID, PI, PD, PID controllers. Okay, so what is this P stands for? What does this I stands for? Let us see that. P stands for proportional controllers. Okay, P stands for proportional controllers, whereas I stands for integral controllers. Okay, integral controllers, whereas the D stands for differential controllers. D stands for differential controllers. Differential controllers. Whereas now about PI, PD and PID controllers, if you see, where PI stands for proportional integral controllers. Proportional integral controllers. Whereas PD stands for proportional differential controllers. Okay, PD stands for the proportional differential controllers. Proportional differential controllers. Whereas PID stands for proportional integral differential controllers. Proportional integral and differential controllers. Differential controllers. Okay, so these are the 6 types of controllers that we see normally in control systems. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. In this video we will discuss about proportional controller, integral controller and differential controller, and then in the next video we see about PI, PD and PID. Now let us go with the block diagram of a second order system which we have. Okay, a second order system which we have, where you will have a controller, where you will have a system and the output is C of S, and then you take a feedback which will normally be unity feedback system for any control order of the system which you take. This is a generic block diagram which I am writing, where it will be negative feedback system. So it is unity feedback. Okay, the feedback is unity, where H of S would be equal to 1. So once the unity feedback system is given and R of S is positive, whereas this unity feedback system will have a negative feedback. So we always consider a negative feedback system for any the control system that we take. Now this controller what we have will be either proportional or integral or differential. Okay, this proportional will this controller will be either proportional or integral or differential, or it can also be PI, PD or PID. Okay, so it can be proportional integral, it can be proportional differential, or it will be proportional integral differential. Okay, so what we do now is we'll discuss one by one. So let us first discuss about proportional controller. Okay, so let us discuss now about the proportional controller. So normally we'll see the different types of control systems what we consider will be used for finding out the stability or how to reduce the time specifications in the control system. So all these things are being considered to define any control system. Okay, so normally I hope the time specifications which we defined earlier, rise time or settling time or the delay time and so on, those time specifications should be reduced. Okay, so when those time specifications gets reduced, when the natural frequency of the system increases, when the frequency increases, you see the gradual decrease in the time, right? So you see the gradual decrement in the time. Therefore we have to define a control system such that the time taken by the control system to give the response should be reduced. So it should work very fast. Meanwhile, the stability of the system should also be in concern. Okay, so you should see that the stability of the system is also being improved. Okay, so now based on these factors, we'll now discuss one by one. So let us consider the proportional controller. Let us consider the proportional controller. Let us define what is proportional controller. Okay, so first what we do, we will try to write the block diagram for this proportional controller. Okay, the block diagram of this proportional controller. So what would be the proportional controller? Now that would be the controller which gets replaced, whatever the arrow mark which I have written now. So now the block diagram of the proportional controller would be equal to the input given to a proportional controller, which is always the E of S. Okay, so because you see that, I hope in the feedback loop derivation also we have seen, the output of the summing point is always E of S, which would be equal to the difference among R of S and C of S. Because of the negative feedback system, you see E of S equals R of S minus C of S, and the feedback is unity feedback system, so H of S equals 1. Therefore, E of S would be the input for the controller, whereas N of S would be, I would say B of S, no sorry, B of S we have already considered for in the feedback loop. So therefore, we will denote this with an alphabet N, so N of S. Okay, so N of S is what the output of the controller, whatever you which is written in the block just now. So this E of S will be given to the proportional controller, and Kp is the proportional constant which we actually use, which we actually use for a proportional controller. Now if you try to write the equation for this, N of S would be equal to Kp times E of S, because Kp gets multiplied with E of S, right? Kp gets multiplied with E of S. Therefore, what we do is, we normally write in time domain actually. We normally write in time domain where N of t would be equal to Kp into E of t. Now if you take that Laplace transform of the time domain, you will be achieving N of S to be equal to Kp into E of S. Therefore, you see that, we see that the result of this, where the transfer function should be taken for this N of S equals Kp into E of S, whatever we have, where N of S is actually given to the controller, and we will try to include this controller in a second order system. We know the block diagram of the second order system is given by omega n square divided by S into S plus 2 zeta omega n. So this is the forward path gain block for second order system, and we know that the second order system will have a unity feedback system, because this block we have already considered while deriving the response in the earlier videos. So that is what the block which I have written. Now what I'll do is, I'll add the controller part for this second order system. Okay, I'll just erase the part and I will add the controller block for this particular second order system. Now that controller will have a gain Kp. Okay, that controller will have a gain Kp. Okay, because if you take the transfer function N of S by E of S, you see Kp will be the gain which the block will be added as a controller. Okay, so now what we do, we take the transfer function for this second order system with the controller, C of S by R of S equals, we know the standard function G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. Because of the negative feedback, you see that positive symbol there. So as H of S equals 1, we are now allowed to write what is G of S equals. Okay, so therefore G of S by 1 plus G of S you get because of H of S equals 1. G of S would be equal to the multiplication of that two block gains, because they both are in series. Therefore, G of S equals Kp into omega n square divided by S into S plus 2 zeta omega n. So this would be the G of S that we get. Now what we do, we apply this G of S in the transfer function equation. C of S by R of S would be equal to Kp into omega n square, Kp into So g of s is what kp into omega n square by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n. So we'll try to put that in the c of s by r of s formula, where kp into omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n, whole thing divided by 1 plus s into which is kp omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n. Okay, so now you take the LCM for this, where we get kp omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n, whole thing divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n added with kp omega n square, and that whole thing divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n. Now you see this both will get cancelled, both the denominator gets cancelled. So therefore the total transfer function for a proportional controller is c of s by r of s equals kp omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus kp omega n square. Okay, so this is the total transfer function for a proportional controller, which is equal to, which is similar when we compare this with the second order equation omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. You see that the term kp into omega n square, whatever we have, as kp is multiplied with the natural frequency, as kp increases, the natural frequency will also increase. Once the natural frequency is increasing, we know that the time taken would be the inversely proportional of the frequency. So once frequency increases because of kp, time gets reduced. So therefore, whichever the time specification which are dependent on this omega n, they all get reduced so that the system works faster. The response of the system would be obtained very faster. That is what the definition here, that is what the benefit of proportional integral here. But the problem is, in proportional integral, you see that zeta is not controlled. Damping ratio zeta is not controlled. Because of damping ratio is also very important factor for any second order system, because you might get critically damped or over damped or under damped and so on. Therefore, you also need a system which can control this zeta value. So therefore, we don't have such system where which it can control zeta in proportional controller when we use this proportional controller. Okay, so for that we need to go and discuss about the next factor or the next controllers that we have. Meanwhile, the order of the system is also unaltered here. Therefore, the stability factor is also not defined properly in proportional controller. Okay, so the stability is also concerned here, which is not properly defined here in proportional controller, because the poles remain constant here. We had two poles, so we all know the denominator roots is nothing but the poles of the system, where poles remain to be two poles only here. See, if the poles are reduced, then we would say the stability is more. If poles are increased, then we say the stability is reduced. Okay, so the poles should not increase, it should get reduced. Let's now consider an integral controller, and let us try to work on what is integral controller is all about. Okay, so let us work on what is integral controller. So let us firstly look into the block diagram of an integral controller, which is an input E of t is given to an integrator. Okay, input E of t. So normally we write in time domain, sorry. So it is E of t given to the input of the integral controller, where integrator is used for integral controller. Output is n of t. So integral is nothing but an integrator which will have an op-amp. Okay, integral is an integrator which will have an op-amp. I'll just write it and show it to you. Integral is, this is an integrator which will have an op-amp or the construction of the diagram of an integrator would be like this. Okay, so that would be the R1, R2, this would be the input that we have, whereas the output will be taken at the end. So that is the integrator that we use here in integral controller. So now let us write the equation for n of t, where n of t equals some, it is not n of t equals, let me say n of t proportional to, let me say n of t proportional to the integration of e of t dt, because e of t is given to integral, so therefore integration of e of t dt. Now this proportional will now become equal, therefore n of t equals some proportional constant which is integral constant ki multiplied by integration of e of t dt, which is equal to, okay, so e of t is given to integral, so therefore we normally give when integrator as an input e of t, that will integrate in e of t. So n of s, the Laplace transform term n of s would be equal to ki into e of s divided by s. Okay, because of the integrator, and we know integration Laplace will always divide by s, so therefore we divided by s here. If I take the transfer function for this particular n of s by e of s, we get n of s by e of s would be equal to ki by s. So this would be the gain that we use for a controller when I add it into the second order system. Okay, this would be the gain of the block that I use when I add this into the second order control system. So we'll write that block diagram now, where an input will be R of s, this is the controller, where ki by s, which is an integral controller, and then it is given to a second order system, omega n square by s into s plus 2 zeta omega ns, and given to C of s output, and then you have taken a negative feedback, unity feedback system normally, so with minus, plus and minus, where R of s is the input. So this is the second order system with an integral controller. Now we'll write the G of s equation for this second order system integral controller, which would be ki multiplied by omega n square divided by s into s is s square into s plus 2 zeta omega n, because they both are in series. As they both are in series, you just multiply both. Okay, so this would be the G of s, which we normally write, so which is C of s by R of s now would be equal to G of s, which is ki omega n square divided by s square into s plus 2 zeta omega ns divided by 1 plus ki omega n square divided by s square into s plus 2 zeta omega n. So now I'll take an LCM and try to write the final transfer function equation C of s by R of s equals ki omega n square divided by, you just take the LCM and then multiply it. What do we get here is s cube plus 2 zeta omega n square, omega n square plus ki omega n square. Okay, so now this is the total transfer function of an integral controller. So this is the total transfer function of an integral controller. Now if you see, the omega n square is again multiplied by ki, where the natural frequency is again multiplied by ki. Therefore the time specifications, whichever is dependent on omega n, is getting reduced, so the system response would be faster. But due to the introduction of one pole, so this is what ki omega n square. Okay, so therefore as ki is multiplied by omega n square, you see that the natural frequency is increased Due to that, the time taken is reduced. So whichever the time specification which is related to this particular omega n square will all get reduced so that the system response would be faster enough. Okay, would be faster enough. But the major problem here is you have added one more pole here. Okay, you have added one more pole here because it is s cube. The second order system will always have what? Omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So we have 2 is the order here, whereas in this we have seen 3 is what the order that we got. It means that you have added one more pole by adding the integral controller to the second order system. So as poles, the number of poles has been increased, we see the stability of this system is getting reduced. Okay, the stability of the system gets reduced. The stability of the system gets reduced. Okay, so this is the major drawback of the integral controller, where the stability is getting reduced. Okay, so what do we do when the stability is getting reduced? We go for next controller, which is differential controller. Okay, we go for next controller. Anyway, whether it increases the stability or reduces the stability, once we discuss it, we'll come to know. And meanwhile, whether it reduces the time taken, the time specification is also altered. Let us see now. So let us discuss about differential controller. So what is differential controller? So the differential controller, let us write the block diagram for a differential controller, where now we are going to use a differentiator as a controller. Okay, earlier we used an integrator, now we use a differentiator. Okay, we use a differentiator where input would be e of t, output would be n of t, where the controller is now the differentiator, okay, which is proportional to the difference d by dt. Okay, so if I write the equation for this particular differential controller, n of t would be equal to or proportional to, okay, or n of t is proportional to d by dt of e of t, differentiation of e of t. So therefore I would say n of t equals k d into d by dt of e of t. N of t equals k d into d by dt of e of t, where k d is some differential constant. Okay, now I'll take the Laplace of this equation, where n of s equals k d into s into e of s. As it is a differentiation, so you try to multiply s with e of s. Therefore, the transfer function n of s by e of s would be equal to k d into s. So this is the gain I will use in the second order system when I add this controller now. Okay, I will add this differential controller to the second order system now, and I will use this gain kds as a block in the second order system now for a controller. So it will have a gain kds which is given to the second order system forward path gain, which is omega n square divided by s into s plus 2 zeta omega n. Output is, so it is zeta omega n, sorry. The output is been taken, which is c of s. Negative feedback is given to the output. From the output, the negative feedback has been taken. So r of s is the input, plus and minus. Okay, so now we'll try to write the g of s for this particular block, where g of s would be equal to kds multiplied by omega n square, where s and s gets cancelled, so I need not to write s there. See, s in kds and s in the denominator of the second order system, s and s gets cancelled. You have left out with only s plus 2 zeta omega n in the denominator. Therefore, c of s by r of s is now kd into omega n square divided by S plus 2 zeta omega n whole thing divided by 1 plus kd into omega n square divided by S plus 2 zeta omega n. Now if you see this, this would be equal to kd into omega n square divided by S plus 2 zeta omega n plus kd omega n square. Okay. So here the major benefit here, if you compare this with the second order system here, if you compare with the second order system here, the omega n square is multiplied with kd, where the time specification is reduced now because of kd is multiplied by omega n square. Increase in kd will increase the natural frequency. Meanwhile, the time specification, whichever dependent on those natural frequency, will get reduced. So the system response becomes faster. But there is one more benefit in this particular system. If you see, the number of pole is reduced. The second order system equation is s square, order is s square, but you have s in the denominator in the controlled output. Therefore, you have reduced one pole by adding the differential controller. Therefore, this differential controller will increase the stability because of one pole getting reduced. Fine. So I hope you got the difference between proportional controller, integral controller and differential controller in this video. And you got to know how the stability is dependent and how the time specification dependent based on the omega n square. Increase in omega n square because of the increment of the constants that gets multiplied with omega n square. And whichever the time specification which is dependent on this omega n square gets reduced, which increases the system response time. Means the time taken gets reduced so that the speed will be increased. But all these three systems never spoke about the factor zeta, right? All these three systems never spoke about the factor zeta. Zeta is nowhere controlled. So for that reason, we need to go for another controllers, which is PI, PD and PID controllers. Okay, in that three controllers, we will try to see whether we can control the factor zeta. We have worked only on omega n. We will see whether we can control the factor zeta by discussing those three controllers in my next video.